Welcome, aviation enthusiasts. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of military jet trainers with a special focus on the Aero L-29 Delfín. In this video, we'll explore everything from its design and capabilities to the nitty-gritty details of operating costs. Whether you're an aviation enthusiast or considering buying a vintage jet, this deep dive will give you all the information you need. Operating a vintage jet like the L-29 isn't just about enjoying its thrilling performance. It's also about understanding and managing the costs involved. From acquisition and maintenance to fuel and insurance, there are many factors to consider. We'll break down these costs in detail, giving you a comprehensive understanding of what it takes to keep an L-29 in the air. So stick around to the end to get the full picture, and let's embark on this journey through the skies with the Aero L-29 Delfín. The Aero L-29 Delfín, an iconic jet trainer aircraft developed in Czechoslovakia during the Cold War, holds a special place in aviation history for its reliability, simplicity, and effectiveness in training generations of pilots. Introduced in 1963, the L-29 quickly became a mainstay in the training programs of numerous Eastern Bloc countries and beyond, thanks to its stable flight characteristics and forgiving handling. Its construction, primarily of metal and straightforward design, not only facilitated ease of maintenance, but it also contributed to its reputation as a rugged and dependable aircraft, capable of withstanding the rigors of training operations and occasional light combat roles. Beyond its training role, the L-29 also saw limited service in reconnaissance and light attack missions, showcasing its versatility and adaptability. Even decades after its production ceased in the early 1970s, the L-29 continues to capture the imagination of aviation enthusiasts and collectors worldwide. Its affordability relative to other jet trainers, combined with its historical significance, make it a sought-after aircraft among private owners and warbird enthusiasts alike. Whether in air shows, private collections, or operational use, the L-29 Delfín remains a testament to Cold War-era aviation technology and a symbol of innovation in military training aircraft design. When considering the acquisition of an Aero L-29 Delfín, prospective buyers can expect a range of costs depending on several factors. The base price for a well-maintained L-29 typically starts at around $79,000. However, this figure can vary significantly based on the aircraft's condition, total airframe hours, engine hours, and any modifications or upgrades that have been performed. For instance, a pristine, low-hour L-29 with modern avionics and recent refurbishments could fetch prices upwards of $100,000 or more. On the other hand, aircraft in need of restoration or lacking modern avionics might be available for as low as $60,000. The cost of ownership extends beyond the initial purchase price. Additional expenses such as avionics upgrades, which can range from $10,000 to $30,000 depending on the complexity and scope of the installation, should be factored into the total investment. These upgrades often include GPS navigation systems, modern communication radios, and digital instrumentation, enhancing both safety and operational capabilities. Ensuring the aircraft meets current avionics and regulatory standards is crucial for safe and efficient operation, particularly if the L-29 will be used in civilian airspace or for private flights. Moreover, potential buyers should budget for any necessary refurbishments or repairs to bring the aircraft up to desired standards. This can include structural inspections, engine overhauls, and replacing outdated components. Major maintenance efforts like engine refurbishments can cost between $50,000 to $100,000 depending on the extent of work required and the availability of parts. Investing in comprehensive pre-purchase inspections by qualified aviation mechanics is essential to identifying any hidden issues that could significantly impact the overall cost of ownership. Lastly, financing options and insurance costs should also be considered when budgeting for the purchase of an L-29 Delfín. Insurance premiums typically range from $5,000 to $10,000 annually, depending on factors such as the aircraft's value, pilot experience, and coverage requirements. Financing may be available through specialized lenders familiar with vintage military aircraft, although interest rates and terms may vary compared to conventional aircraft financing. Exploring these financial aspects thoroughly ensures that prospective owners are well prepared to manage the ongoing expenses associated with owning and operating an Aero L-29 Delfín. Let's start by looking at the performance and specifications of the L-29 Delfín. This aircraft is powered by a single motorlet M701C turbojet engine, which produces approximately 1,960 pounds of thrust. This engine is a key factor in the L-29's impressive performance, enabling it to reach a top speed of around 440 knots or about 507 miles per hour. The M701C is known for its durability and relatively low maintenance requirements compared to other turbojet engines of its era. The L-29 Delfín has a range of approximately 560 miles on a full tank of fuel, which gives it a decent operational radius for training missions and other flights. The aircraft's fuel capacity is about 320 gallons, and with an average consumption rate of 150 gallons per hour, managing fuel efficiency is crucial. In terms of dimensions, the L-29 measures 34 feet 5 inches in wingspan, 33 feet 5 inches in length, and 10 feet 6 inches in height. These dimensions contribute to its stability and ease of handling, making it an ideal trainer aircraft. The maximum takeoff weight for the L-29 is 7,275 pounds, which includes a useful payload capacity of around 1,500 pounds. This allows for a variety of configurations, whether for training purposes or light attack and reconnaissance roles. The aircraft's structural design is robust, capable of withstanding the rigors of repeated training missions and varying operational conditions. The avionics suite in the L-29 is relatively basic, reflecting its primary role as a trainer. However, many modern operators have upgraded their L-29s with advanced avionics to enhance safety and functionality. Typical upgrades might include GPS navigation systems, modern communication radios, and updated flight instruments. One of the most appealing aspects of the L-29 Delfín is its simplicity and reliability. The aircraft was designed with ease of maintenance in mind, featuring accessible components and straightforward systems. The design philosophy not only reduced the time and cost of maintenance during its military service, but also makes it an attractive option for private owners today. Next, we dive into the operating costs, which is one of the most crucial aspects to consider before purchasing a jet like the L-29. Operating costs can be broken down into several categories, including fuel, maintenance, insurance, hangar fees, and miscellaneous expenses. We'll go through each of these in detail to give you a comprehensive understanding of what it takes to keep an L-29 in the air. Fuel is the most important significant operating cost for any jet aircraft, and the L-29 is no exception. The L-29 Delfín consumes approximately 150 gallons of jet fuel per hour. With the current average price of Jet A fuel being around $6 per gallon, you're looking at about $900 per hour in fuel costs alone. This can fluctuate based on fuel prices in your area and the specific flight conditions, but it gives you a solid baseline for your calculations. Maintenance is another substantial expense when operating an L-29. Routine maintenance includes regular inspections, engine overhauls, and replacement of parts as needed. On average, you can expect to spend between $200 and $300 per hour on maintenance. This figure can vary depending on the age of the aircraft, how it's flown, and how well it's maintained. Annual inspections typically cost around $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the scope of work required. Major overhauls, such as engine refurbishments, can be more expensive. A full engine overhaul for the motorlet M701C might cost anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 depending on the extent of work required and the availability of parts. It's crucial to budget for these significant expenses, as they are an inevitable part of owning and operating a vintage jet aircraft. Hangar fees can vary widely depending on your location. In high-demand areas, you might pay as much as $1,500 to $2,000 per month for hangar space, while in a more rural or less populated area, costs could be as low as $300 to $500 per month. On average, you can expect to spend around $800 to $1,200 per month for hangar rental, which adds up to $9,600 to $14,400 per year. Other miscellaneous costs can also add up. These might include pilot training, navigation fees, landing fees, and unexpected repairs. For pilot training, if you're transitioning to the L-29 from another type of aircraft, you might need to undergo specialized training, which can cost anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the training provider and the amount of flight time required. Navigation and landing fees will vary depending on where you fly. For example, Larger airports may charge higher fees compared to smaller regional airports. It's a good idea to budget an additional $1,000 to $2,000 per year for these expenses. When we sum up all the costs, we can get a clearer picture of the total cost per hour of operating an Aero L-29 Delfín. Here's a rough breakdown. Fuel costs are about $900 per hour. Maintenance expenses range from $200 to $300 per hour. Insurance costs approximately $13 to $25 per hour. Based on annual costs, hangar fees are around $12 to $20 per hour. Based on annual costs, the miscellaneous expenses are about $10 to $20 per hour. Adding these together, the total operating cost per hour can range from $1,135 to $1,265. This estimate includes fixed costs, spread over an average number of flight hours per year. Let's say around 100 hours per year. If you fly more or fewer hours, the fixed costs per hour will adjust accordingly. Operating a vintage jet like the L-29 Delfín is undeniably costly, but how does it compare to other jets in its class? When compared to modern jet trainers or even other vintage military jets, the L-29 stands out for its relative affordability. For instance, modern jet trainers, such as the T-6 Texan II or the T-38 Talon, often incur operating costs that can exceed $2,000 to $3,000 per hour. These higher costs stem from their advanced avionics systems, greater fuel consumption rates due to more powerful engines, and increased complexity in maintenance procedures, which require specialized technicians and parts. In contrast, the L-29's design emphasizes simplicity and robustness, contributing to lower maintenance requirements and more manageable operating expenses. Its widespread production during the Cold War era also means that spare parts are generally more accessible and affordable compared to rare vintage jets. This accessibility helps mitigate some of the financial challenges associated with owning and maintaining a vintage military aircraft. However, despite these cost advantages, potential owners must still be prepared for the significant financial commitment involved in owning an L-29 Delfín. Beyond the initial purchase and operational costs, which include fuel, maintenance, insurance, and hangar fees, there are additional considerations such as regulatory compliance, pilot training, and infrastructure support. Proper budgeting and financial planning are essential to ensuring the sustainable operation and enjoyment of this historic jet trainer, allowing enthusiasts to fully appreciate its unique flying experience without compromising on safety or financial stability. If you're passionate about vintage military jets and have the budget to support the operating costs, the L-29 Delfín can be a rewarding aircraft to own and fly. Its rich history, impressive performance, and classic design make it a standout choice for aviation enthusiasts looking to experience the thrill of flying a piece of Cold War-era aviation technology. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of the Aero L-29 Delfín. If you found this video informative and enjoyable, please consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more in-depth features on both classic and modern aircraft. Feel free to leave a comment below with any questions or suggestions for future aircraft we should cover. Fly safe, and we look forward to seeing you in our next aviation adventure.